Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the Coach's Desk. I'm your host, Coach Minzy, and we're here to discuss the World Championship that took place in Eugene, Oregon. 10 days of action, track and field action, that actually blew the track and field fans up. Yes, we have records, spills and thrills of the championships. Especially we'll be talking about Jamaica's own, I mean, championship, how we actually did at these championship. You know what I mean? So big up to everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Big up to the persons that are watching on Facebook. Big up to the persons that are on from uh Talk Track with Fabian. Big up yourself. Thanks for tuning in. Just be reminded that we encourage you to like the stream. Yes, like the stream, as well as subscribe if you're new. Subscribe to Fabian's channel. Subscribe to Coach's Desk. You know what I mean? Also, we encourage you to also subscribe to Coach's Desk Sports. Yes, Coach's Desk Sports JA. So that if anything goes wrong in the future, we have that channel to rock back on. All right, so yeah, man, big up to the early birds. As you come in, just hit that like button, people. We're supposed to be having a guest will be joining us, and we're just gonna be talking until the guest joins us. We hope that it will be sooner rather than later. You know what I mean? All right. So I see some people jumping in the comment section, and we have a Natural Jamaican Vegan. Welcome to the show. Delta Sigma, welcome to the show. We have a colleague of mine, a coach, who will be joining us. Yes, to have a discussion. Fabian should be here as well. Winston Willocks, welcome. Opinion, big up yourself. Real Baller. Yeah, man, big up yourself. The Dirty South Scout. What up? Europe in Houston, Texas. Yeah, man, big up yourself. Congrats to the United States. They actually won the most amount of medal. And they had we really set the trend because I mean from Jamaica start this sweep thing is like um is that the brooms have come out. So we swept the 1 2 3 in the 100 meters, and it's like it has now become a trend. The men of United States got it in the 100 meters as well. They got it in the 200 meters. It was just a whole lot of these things happening. All right, so yeah, man, that's the situation. I'm so happy to be here. Big up yourself, Elizabeth McLaughlin. Big up yourself, Samantha Allen. Welcome. Watch them attack. Say the thing. Shut now. I mean, I understand that. Quincy Wallace, big up yourself. What I say? Jamaica gave away a medal in the mixed relay. You think so? I mean, probably they don't pay attention to it that way, you know. Kelly Ludford, welcome. No, we're supposed to have a guest, Kelly. Supposed to be having a guest. I'm just gonna try and contact the guest just to remind the guest if they remember it's now what 6 minutes after. The Dirty South Scout. I'm upset with Jamaica 4x1 order. Shelly and Sherika should have switched the legs. Fabian is here. Big up yourself, Fabian. Welcome. You're muted.
Big up, coach. Good evening, everybody.
When you say Simone, me look stressed. I lie. No, sir. Hey, one thing, you know. If my face looks stressed, probably have something different. I tired or something, but stress. No, sir, me not wear stress. That can't fit me. Cannot fit me at all. Delta say, please, with the end result, win some, lose some. All right, Delta Sigma say. So, Fabian, as you know, we're going to do a recap of the championship. I'm supposed to be having a guest. Let me check to see if the guests recall that they should be on. All right, in the meantime, Fabian, what's your moment of the championship?
I have three. I have four actually. I have four. And I'm going to put them not in any. I'm gonna try and put them in order from four to one.
Mm-hmm.
Starting at number 4 is Duplantis breaking the world record again. I think once you break the world record at any global event, that is something big. So Duplantis breaking that pole vault record, that comes in at number 4 for me. At number 3, I have Noah Lyles running 21.31, becoming the American record holder for the 200 meters. I didn't think anybody would venture. But sorry, 19.31. I'm thinking about the females. Sorry. I didn't think anybody would venture anywhere near Usain Bolt's record. So 19.31, that comes in at number 3 for me. As a matter of fact, I have 5, so move those up. So that's 5, and then 4 at number 3. I have Sydney McLaughlin breaking that 400 hurdles world record, and it comes in at number 3 for me because it was something that was expected. So that is
when I finish, I'm gonna make 2 comments on the
on the 5 that I have.
No, on 2, Duplantis and Sydney. But go ahead.
Sydney, yes. So a lot of persons might have expected Duplantis to do it, so that's why Duplantis is at 5. Lyles is at 4. Sydney is at 3 because everybody expected her to break the record. Again, coming in at number 2 is Sherika's 200-meter championship record. That 21.4. We predicted her to run 21.4, but actually predicting it and seeing her run it was something spectacular. And also she did this after running 3 rounds of the 100 meters, 3 rounds of 200 meters. So she did this with tired legs. So that
Mhm.
comes in at number 2. And coming in at number 1 is that little Nigerian, Toby Amusan,
Mhm.
breaking that 100-meter record in the semifinals.
100-meter hurdles.
100-meter hurdles record in the semifinals. And then replicating that 2 hours later in the finals. If it wasn't for that positive 2.5 wind, that record would have been lowered in the finals. So that is my number 1 for me, Amusan. And for those who watch my channel, I did have Amusan in my ladies to watch out for in that hot 100-meter hurdles.
Mhm.
And so seeing her break that record, it was surprising for me because I thought Camacho Queen had that in the bag because she just have that championship thing about her where she's just there. But rewatching Amos and rewatching her trail leg is like there's a spring connecting her trail leg and her lead leg. Her trail leg snaps so fast that it's gonna be hard to beat her in years to come. So that's my top 5.
Okay, I can't go around that top 5. It seems to have some imagery of what I would have. But let me challenge the Sydney.
Duplantis and Sydney.
It's not, well, it's not really challenging still, you know. It's just, it's just me really taking another what you'd call it,
Another look because
perspective,
yes,
perspective on it.
and I'm going to agree with it even before me hear it.
Look at it. Sydney McLaughlin, everybody knows that Shagga win. And everybody knows that, well, the beauty about her run could be the sub 51, which I predicted.
Yeah.
But everybody knew that she was going to win and she was going to break the world record again. So, I mean, I think it's the 50 point would have been the super special feat of it. So I'd put her at number 1, right? but is it so extraordinary what she did, or we were expecting it?
It is extraordinary that 50 that sub 51 is. I didn't expect her to go sub 50. I expected her to go 51 low.
No,
But that
sub
sub
50,
51,
yeah.
when you said it, I am like, coach, kind of mad, you know, because when I saw her at the US trials, when she ran that 51-41, I said, this girl has more in the tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, so she have a run 51 low. But when she run that, trust me, it was so close for her. She only made it to the top 3. And this is why I have her at 3rd, because we know that she was going to break the record. We didn't know that she was going to run that fast. There is nobody on the face of the planet, maybe except Lassina Golden Clark, who thought that Amusan would have broken that record.
And we have to pause a moment and big up the Jamaican coaching staff, Lassina, Golden Clark, and Davian
Clark.
Big them up. The husband and wife combination did an excellent job there. And of course, you know that they also coach Javon Powell and Sean Bailey, who is the brother of Vernica Campbell Brown. So they're doing their thing. And to have a world champion, not only a world champion, but one with a world record, it's an extraordinary feat.
And that world record will not last very long because she can go faster. She can go faster.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for that 2.5, I think she would have run. She would have broken it again. It's just that 2.5 messed it up for her. But as me say, I don't think anybody except Lassina Golden Clark and Davian thought that Amusan would break that record. I had her in the medals.
Yes,
I didn't think that she would actually break the record. So that for me is a big surprise for me, and that is why she takes that number 1 spot.
Yeah.
I can't
argue with that, really.
And remember, it's not like any of the females this year adventured into 12.2. They were all running 12.4, 12.3 high.
Yeah,
They weren't venturing anywhere near that record. Sydney, I know that Sydney was going to break that record. So that is why
Yeah, but nobody, Fabian, was brave enough like me
to say she was going to sub 51.
Sub 51. When I said it, the Virgin said, Coach, you're sure? No, Coach, that is pushing it a little bit. But if she ran 51.4 easily at the trials.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking 51 low.
And I suspect that it would have been sub 51.
Yeah, because Dalila will be there pushing her and Femke Ball pushing her also.
Yeah. All right. The other thing is
wait, before you move on,
yeah,
and me can't put Sydney over Shericka because to a lot of people, Shericka is the world record holder in the 200 meters. To a lot of people, because of the controversy surrounding the 200 and the 100 meter female record. So I cannot put after Shericka failing to advance in the heats last year, coming back this year.
Vengeance.
Exactly. As if some person's probably asking me about the Jamaican sweep. I mean, we expected that.
Yeah, we expected that.
This is the third time that this trio has swept the 100 meters at a global event, at an event. So and they're probably going to do it again next year and the other year. So it's the norm now for the Jamaicans to sweep that event. So that wasn't impressive for me. But Shericka, I have to give Shericka that one.
Right. No. Duplantis. Everybody know it. Man, come like him a toy with him records. Every minute him just break it at will. It's like him just go easy. So all right, may I break it today? May I break it next week? May I break it? May I break it? May I break it? I'm wondering if that is actually an extraordinary performance, if you ask me.
You remember I said 4. I started out by saying I had 4, but then I also said that once you break a world record, I have to consider it in the outstanding performance. And he barely made it in at number 5, even though he
hold on, Fabian. We have our guest coming in. Keelan Goulburn, Coach Goulburn, welcome to the coach's desk again.
Blessings, man. Good evening.
Good evening, Coach. We are gonna get along fine.
Why?
Coach Minzy can tell you.
Oh, you're gonna?
Definitely.
You say, hey, listen to me now. You know, I know gonna talk for my show. Anyway, welcome again, Coach Goulburn. My colleague, people, he's joining us tonight. We just want to have a little talk and a recap on the whole World Championship. We're talking just now, and Fabian gave me his top 5 moments. I don't want to ask you that just yet, but I don't know if you want to give a little introduction for of yourself so that persons can know who you really are.
Oh, all right. So my name is Keelan Goulburn, head coach at St. Jago High School for the girls track and field team. A lot of persons say that I'm the girls coach. I am not the girls coach. I coach the girls. I'm also a senior teacher at the same institution. Managed many hats, played at a role in sports and stuff like that. I'm a gunner, and I'm going to remain a gunner forever. So, ardent track and field fan.
All right, big up yourself. Except the gunner part. We go way back with the little competition with the gunner thing still. Let us leave it. For tonight.
Leave that for September.
Yes.
And next week, September. Next week.
Next week. Okay. All right, so Coach Goburn, first on Fabian, you can chime in whenever you feel like. First and foremost, America getting their navel string cut, so to speak, or their maiden hosting of the championship, world championship. What are your thoughts on it? Because I'm hearing a lot of tongues wagging about the type of championship it was. What say you?
Well, I think it is long overdue. America is arguably the most successful nation in track and field. I mean, they have won maybe the most medals, since the inception of this thing. So I think it was long overdue. They got the Olympics twice. They have never yet had the World Championship, so this is their first time having it. I think the LOC did an awesome job in terms of organizing it, in partnership with the World Athletics. So all in all, I think it was a good. I really didn't hear any major complaints, from an organization standpoint. I mean, it went pretty smooth. And plus, Hayward Field is no stranger to track and field. They have hosted multiple Diamond League meets, multiple NCAA. So where else in America to bring such a championship more than Crackdown?
I heard persons talking about the logistics to get to Eugene, and also the fact that the ticket prices were quite a bit steep.
Geographically, if you should look on the map of America, geographically, where Eugene is located, it is always going to be difficult for you to get there, even under normal circumstances. I had the privilege of going there once at the World Under-20s in 2014, and the traveling was crazy. I mean, we had to take 4 or 5 flights, and if that was just a junior championship, you can just imagine something as huge and as major and as significant as a global world championship senior. So it was always going to be difficult to get there geographically based on where Eugene is located on the map.
Yeah, man, definitely. So let us zoom in. What was your prediction in terms of the medal counts?
All right. For me, I never like to predict medals, but I was always hoping in the back of my mind that Jamaica would receive double-figure medals. And double-figure could have been 10, 11, or 12. I mean, anywhere thereabout. I didn't expect us to get more than 12 medals. But I always had in the back of my mind that we could get 10 medals. I knew it was always going to be difficult for the men to win any medal. Realistically, I mean, we had probably one live shot of winning a medal, which we didn't win on the men's side, and that was Answer Parchment. Fortunately, right. Fortunately for us, the 4x4 men, they came big on the last day. I mean, kudos to them. I thought they rose above expectation and delivered, getting some huge splits. So I want to, commend them for that. But I didn't expect us to win more than the 10, 11, or 12 medals maximum. But I don't like to predict medals.
All right. Since you went on the splits argument, we have been having a lot of conversation on this platform where, especially the 4x1 is concerned, and persons have been saying there was this particular comment that sparked me, and I laughed when I saw it. And the whole debacle with persons attacking Kemba and attacking the team, so to speak, because once you attack one person, you attack the team. That she was the cause of the situation for us not to win and get the record. The comment was I have to laugh. I have to really laugh. But the comment is Kemba ran 11.45 and Elaine ran 10.10, which are the splits. So the individual said it is Kemba's fault because if they don't see that Elaine is faster than Kemba, where she ran 10.10 and Kemba ran 11.4. So I want you, because I've been telling these people that splits don't really matter when they come out to 4x1, because you can shuffle the team anyway. Once they don't pass the baton precisely and with synergy, it counts to nothing. So I want you to explain to them, Coach Goburn, this myth about the splits and how minutely important it is in my eyes.
All right. So I would not say the splits are not important. They are important. But for me, the splits in the 4x1 can be very misleading, right? Because if you just said that Elaine split 10.1 on her leg, right? So we're assuming that Elaine did 10.1 for 100 meters, which is not factual.
Right.
If she could do 10.1, she would break the world record and she would win the gold medal in the 100 meters. In the 4x1, the splits are relative to when the baton is passed and when the baton is received. Even though it is assumed that each person will run 100 meters, that is not the case.
Right.
No, all 4 ladies don't run 100 meters unless you can guarantee to me that everybody either pass or receive at the 100 meter mark. Then the split don't make any sense. I see ladies splitting even 9 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So that in itself must tell you that something is wrong. How can a lady with her PB of 10.8 split 9 seconds? Something wrong. So the splits is relative to where the button is passed and where it is received. 4x4 on the other hand is a different ball game, because in the 4x4, the only change that takes place on the curve is the first changeover.
The first change, right.
The second and the third changeover is actually made. All 8 runners are standing in a line. So that is even. Everybody is standing same place. 4x1, people have different check marks. People take the baton at different point. People pass at different point. So you can't, the split don't make any sense.
Right. So listen up now, people in the comment section and those who are viewing. The splits are important to an extent, and as I have always said, the 400 meter, the 4x400 meter splits are more important because of where they would have received the baton and where they pass back. Separate and apart, like Coach Goburn said, the first leg. But in the 4x1, it's relative to where you receive the baton.
All right. So for example, you have a 30 meter changeover zone.
Mm-hmm.
So the outgoing runner would move off. All right. Assuming that the incoming runner hit the check mark and you move off. But remember that you don't necessarily receive the baton as you move off. You have a 30 meter window to run.
Mm-hmm.
So chances are you could receive that baton in the middle of that zone, at the beginning of that zone, at the end of that zone.
Mm-hmm.
The earlier you receive the baton, the longer you're going to run, the slower your split is going to be. So that's
especially for a lead-off runner.
Especially if you realize they had Brianna Williams splitting 11.4 in the prelims,
Mm-hmm.
and they had Kemba splitting 11.4 in the prelims. Now these girls can run 11.0 with their eyes closed, 11.1.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So why would they now run in 11.4 on 100 meters, right? Because obviously they go all the way around into the zone and they probably pass the baton deep into that 30 meters zone.
Right.
The chances are they probably run more than 100 meters.
Run 120.
Probably 110, 105, you know?
110 there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I just hope that when persons rewatch this, they will get a better understanding. If they are not on the live currently. So thanks for that, Coach Gilbert. Let us delve into Jamaica's performance. Let's talk about the medals that were won. Everybody, we call the 1, 2, 3 in the 100 meters for female. Was there any surprise, Fabian, before we get back to Coach Goburn?
No, there was no surprise there for me. I think even the Americans knew that Jamaica would sweep that 100 meters. There was no surprise there. I think some persons were surprised with the order of the sweep, but not necessarily of sweeping. I wasn't surprised with the order because that's the exact order that I predicted You predicted that exact order also, Coach Minzy. But some persons didn't predict the order, but everybody knew that we were gonna sweep that 100 meters.
Yes. Yes, Coach Goburn. Chime in on that a little bit.
I think the Jamaican did well. There was basically all but two athletes, in my opinion, did not hit the podium. The first one would have been Answer Parchment, which was totally unfortunate. The second one, for me, would have been Daniel Thomas Dodd. She looked very impressive in her prelims, took one throw, did 19.0. Awesome. Appears as if she was back in her 2017 shape. To make matters even worse, Shanika Ricketts did the same thing in qualifying. She took one jump, got the automatic qualifier, came back, got a season best, led the competition for at least a round or two, and then eventually winning a medal. Daniel Thomas Dodd came back and she didn't even throw the mark that she did in the first round, in the prelims. Her first throw in the finals, to me, would have been about 19-0, there about 19-1, but she chose to fall it. For me, that in a finals, take it. Unless you fall out of the circle, take it. Because remember, you have no control over the other persons. What if everybody else that had foul? Right? So Daniel Thomas Dodd need to definitely look into herself. Even if you're not pleased with the throw, you only have control over your throw. It is not what you wanted, take it. It may just be the throw that would cause you a medal or give you a medal.
Right.
But all in all, I think Jamaica had a very good championship. For me, I think we overachieved. I was particularly impressed with the field events. I mean, some things that were unprecedented. 3 ladies in the triple jump final. 2 ladies in the high jump final. Yes. I mean, we had persons in 800, 3 ladies in the 800. I mean, Wayne Pinnock getting to the finals of the men's long jump. We had 2 men in the discus final. I mean, I think we did well. Jail Hyde, to me, overachieved.
Personal best.
Right, personal best, got to the final. I was a little bit disappointed in Jenny Russell also. I was expecting her to get to the final. But for me, I think Jamaica did extremely well.
Yes, in terms of Genevieve, her coach made mention that she was ready at championship. She looked that way. And for some reason, I didn't like her run in the first round. And then she came back in the second round, and she just was. It seems to me as if she was just going through the motion. I don't know if I was judging her wrong, but I expected more from her, like you said. What say you, Fabian?
I have to agree. I didn't like how she looked. I don't know what happened. I had her as one of those persons who would make the finals and even make it in the top 6. So I don't know what happened. However, for the 4x4s, it looked like she came to life because she ran a very good leg on the 4x4s. So I was asking myself, where was this jellyfish for the 400 hurdles? Because it seems like a completely different person.
All right. So, gentlemen, when we look at the women's 400 meters, I'm not going
before you move on. Can I just add something with Jenny? And this is my personal view. I said it on the radio, and a couple of persons came at me. But for me, when you look at the history of the women's 400 meter hurdles, for all the ladies who have gone sub 53 seconds, if you look at how they execute, in my opinion, I think Genevieve is going out too slow. I am not sure what are her touchdown times or what she's coached to do, but I think she goes out a little bit too slow. She can get away with it at the Jamaican trials because we don't have any 52 or 51 or 50 second for her. Right. If you notice, she tends to come on late in the race, early 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And I think that approach needs to change because if you look at Million Walker, Kali Spencer, all of these, Deanne Hemmings, all of these ladies who have done well for us in this event globally, they go out much faster. And if you have a quality field, you cannot go that slow and expect them to come back to you. It's not going to happen.
All right, I hear somebody mentioning about her technique, her hurdle technique. Do you believe that it is suspect?
I don't think she has any problem with her technique. Genevieve is a superb hurdler. She has won sprint hurdles at champs. She's a world junior. She has won medal at the global stage. She won the world junior title in 2012 in Spain. So I don't think there's any issue with her hurdling. She's a very good 400-meter runner. For me, I would love to see her having some faster splits.
Mhm.
All right. I think if you look at how Rochelle
Clayton.
competed, if you realize, if you look at Rochelle's splits in terms of touchdown times, in addition
Right.
to, in comparison to Genevieve, Rochelle was much faster to each other.
Right.
Even though Genevieve probably is arguably in better shape, she have to compete better. Her first 5 hurdles, in my opinion, is too slow.
So,
Mhm.
all right. When we look at the 400 meters, the 400 meters, was it too strong for us, or the ladies just did not show up in the finals?
Fabian, you want to go?
Yeah, man. For the flat 4x4 you're talking about?
No, the 400 meters, women.
Oh, the 400 meters women. I think our women did not show up. I was really hoping that Candice would have at least gotten close to her PB. I was hoping that she would break 50 seconds. So I just think Candice had a horrible final. Steph, on the other hand, I think Steph did okay. But for the entire season, Candice looked like the better 400-meter runner, except in the finals, you had Stephanie beating Candice. So I think for me, Candice underperformed for me. I really had her there running sub 50 and maybe even challenging for that bronze medal, but it wasn't to be.
I agree with you, Fabian, that I mean that race, it was clear as day that you had to run sub 50 in order to get on the podium. Obviously the 2 Jamaican ladies wasn't up for the taking. So Sade Williams from Barbados said, okay, you don't want it, then I will take it. You know, so she stepped up to the plate. Big kudos to MVP, because she lives and trains in Jamaica. So, you know, that's a very important feat. But as Fabian said, I thought Candice McLeod, I was expecting both ladies to go sub 50 seconds.
Sub 50, yes.
Not necessarily medal, but you know, if they go sub 50 and there was no medal, then I could live with that. But I you know, and if you even look at the 2 ladies from Damrep, Cofield and Paulina, the 400-meter finals was their 5th race.
Yes.
Right? So those ladies came into the 400-meter event with 800 meters under their belt. So I'm not sure if that counts for anything, but they came up and they came big in the finals.
But even as you mentioned, that Paulina normally is one that attacks her race from early. And she just, I'm wondering if it was the amount of run under her legs, because she normally goes out much quicker than that.
To be
and I
honest
would
with
have
you,
expected her to give a better challenge to Miller Weaver.
when I saw the race, when I watched the race, I don't think Paulina was running for a gold medal. I think she was running for a silver medal.
Okay.
Because for the first 200 meters, she literally went to sleep.
Yeah.
What pulled her out of her shell was when she realized that Sade, who was in front of her, was getting away. Right? So she came at her with the last 60 meters and eventually got the silver medal. But she, normally, if you look at how she ran the finals in Tokyo last year in comparison to this year, I thought she conceded and said, okay, Sean is going to win. Superior speed, the only sub-22 person in this race. I am going to give her the win and defend the 2nd place because I already have a gold medal.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I was wondering why Paulino never actually try and challenge Chane Miller Weaver. I think she was afraid of the challenge, maybe because she had gotten a goal already, or she had 5 races in her legs, she think that maybe if she challenged her, she might run out of steam going home and maybe end up not on the podium. So she just played it safe.
But that's where I believe that the Jamaican ladies should have capitalized it up,
Yes,
because
they should have capitalized.
that's not how Paulina runs her race. And if they see that she lets up a little bit, they should have capitalized on that. And somewhere along the line, it didn't happen. I mean, it was kind of, probably this is a strong word, disastrous for even Candice. I was expecting more from Candice, but I mean, you don't know what they were feeling, how their body was reacting. So possible that was it. Now let us change lanes to the men's section of things, where we look at the men's 400 meters. Quite disappointing. However, we had one person in the final. The national champion wasn't in the final. Nathan Allen didn't make the final. The only man for Jamaica that ran 44 this year did not make the final. What are your thoughts, Coach Goburn, on this?
2 men actually ran 44 this year for Jamaica. We had Paul, young Paul, who did it on the NCAA circuit, and Christopher Taylor actually did it in his semi-final. So two Jamaican men ran sub 40.
Right.
I was very happy for Christopher Taylor. I think it was redemption. You know, Jamaicans would say take shame out of AI. You know, so I was happy. And Chris, to me, is proving to be a championship performer. I mean, last year he got to the Olympic finals against all odds.
Mm-hmm.
This year he came and did the same. Didn't go as fast as last year, the 44.7, which is his PB, but he still managed to go sub 45 nonetheless. I mean, but it was always going to be tough for him to get on the podium. I thought his best race for the championship was in the semi-final. I didn't expect him to go any further. I mean, the Jamaican men have been struggling all season. I mean, apart from young Paul, everybody else was stuck in the 45 mids, 44,
45,
yeah. So, I mean, tough luck. That is why the silver medal in the 4x4 was special to me.
Yes.
Because based on what was happening prior to that race, many persons didn't expect us to get on the podium. But I think we have a nice little pool now. Those 4 men that ran in the 4x4 finals. We have Anthony Cox, right? We have Demish Gay. We still, have some gas in the tank. If we can just keep these men healthy, I mean, and just try to keep them together. Jovan Francis, not sure what happened to him.
I heard he had a hamstring injury. Hence the reason he was not able to participate.
Okay, but I think we have quality. We have quality 400 meter runners. I think Christopher Taylor, Nathan Allen, Hakeem Bloomfield, these men are all world class. If they're prepared like world class, I am not sure. But in terms of their ability, they are world class.
Right. Many persons, including Fabian, that Chris Taylor should shift to the 200 meters. I want Fabian to tell you why, and I want you to respond to it.
All right. So, Chris Taylor, I believe his body is not built for a 400. If you look at 400 meters, they are normally tall and length. Chris is diminutive. What I think he gets away with is that Chris is very disciplined and he has a heart of a lion and he is fast. At his best, remember, Christopher Taylor is the joint national junior record holder for the 100 meters with Johan Blake at 10.11. So he has the speed. He has the 400 strength. So I think he would be perfect for the shorter sprint. I think he will always make the finals of a global competition. Will he win a global competition as a 400, as a quarter miler? I highly doubt that. But I think as a 200 meter runner or even as a 100 meter runner, he might get on that podium.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Fabian. I mean, traditionally, the world class quarter milers are usually tall men. In history, I've seen that you have never seen a 5'7" or a 5'8" person coming and win the 400 meter. Christopher Taylor is super fast. I mean, we have seen that throughout his junior years. Not necessarily the 100 though, but I think if he should try to use maybe a season or two to zoom in on the 200, I think it wouldn't take him long to go. 20.0 or sub 20 because he's fast. If you look at his stride length and his stride cadence, probably would need a little bit more mass,
Yeah.
But he's in and around the same height of Oblique Seville and Akeem Blake, and these guys are running very fast. So that's a very good call.
All right. Good. So coach supports your argument, Fabian.
I'm not so mad then. I am not so
Alright.
crazy.
All right. Moving along. Shanika Ricketts in that triple jump. I had an asterisk beside her name, but she came out, give a big early jump, and it was good enough to keep her on the podium. Go ahead, coach.
The revelation for me in the women's triple jump is not necessarily the silver medal. I'm happy that we won the silver medal, but I was even more happy, elated to have 3 Jamaican ladies turning up for the finals. Young Akila Smith, formerly of Erdinali, now at University of Texas, got a big PB to get to the finals. It was always going to be difficult for her to get into the top 8, but I think that is a nice platform or springboard for us to build on. I mean, Shanika Ricketts didn't have the best season. She had a roller coaster season. Spoke to somebody who saw her training a couple times and said there was no need to worry, she'll be fine. And I guess she proved the person right. So at the end of the day, I mean, I think Shanika earned her medal. She led for at least a round, and well deserved.
Yeah, man. Some people bigging up Akila. Yeah, man. She did extremely well to reach that final. Any thoughts on that, Fabian?
No, I think I share the same sentiments. It's good that we had 3 women showing up for the finals, and it makes me now excited to see what is to come. Maybe this act will maybe motivate other young female jumpers and push them to achieve. Because I've always said that Jamaica has a culture of follow fashion, both good and bad. Now, once we see somebody achieve a feat, then we automatically believe that yes, it is possible for me. So let us hope that this good thing now pushes other young jumpers to say, hey, I can get to those heights and even surpass them.
Right, and many persons try to stay on the line of sprinting, especially the 100 meter, which is a blue ribbon event, and this goes to show that there are other alternatives. And what these 3 ladies did, I trust that it will actually motivate some youngsters out there to try other events. And the glamour events is all good and dandy, but definitely I think we can unearth some more talent from different disciplines in track and field.
What I would love to see also, though, not to cut Coach Minzy, but I with the amount of talent that we have in Jamaica, I would love to see more Jamaicans participating in the multi events. It pains my heart to see the hip and the deck and there are no Jamaicans in it. And we have from time to time we have some special people at champs, that turn up and do well in these events. I know it is difficult to prepare, but I think as a country we should probably try to invest more in the multi events because we have had people that have done well in this at the junior level. So we just need to encourage them to transition to the senior.
Yeah, man. Over on the high jump, Distin and Williamson. Am I correct? Yes.
Kimberly Williamson, right.
Right. So they ventured their maiden world championship, I think. Yes. and they went to the finals. I think that's a big achievement, big achievement for them. That will be on their resume wherever they go. It can't be erased or removed.
Yes.
I definitely thought that. I don't know what happened to this thing, but I don't know if any of you gentlemen can.
I that's the question I was going to ask, because I saw it from trials that she just I don't know what was wrong. She was just not the same this thing from trials, and I was hoping that she would get back for the world championships. But nonetheless, I think they did well, and they can only build on this because youth is on her side. So I'm expecting her to just use this experience and build on it.
Did the NCAA experience or season had anything to do with her performance, Coach Gober?
I mean, it is difficult for us to measure the NCAA because we saw persons from the NCAA coming through to win medals. I mean, Trey Cunningham in the men's sprint hurdle, he was the NCAA champion and he came and won a silver medal in the sprint hurdle. I mean, we saw champion Allison in the men's 400 coming through for fourth in 44.7. But for the most part, the NCAA person were lukewarm in this championship. Abby Steiner came in with a big hype. She has been running all year. I mean, Cherokee Wrong, Stacey and Williams. So they Kemba Nelson, the Julian Alfred, who fast start, unfortunately, in the women's 100 meter. I mean, so I thought the NCAA persons were lukewarm, apart from champion Allison and Trey Cunningham. But I wouldn't blame NCAA for Lamar. I thought she looked lackluster from our trials. The fact that she lost at our trials, she broke the national record twice this year.
Mm-hmm.
She's the NCAA champion. And then for her to lose at Jamaica, not trying to discredit Kimberly Williamson, but based on current form coming into the championship, you would have expected that, Lamar would have won the championship. So from them, there were red flags. But both ladies did well. I mean, Kimberly equaled her PB, 1.93, and Lamar could not go back up to 1.97. So still a good platform for the ladies to build on, and I sincerely hope that they could return next year and improve these performances.
All right. On the 200 side of things, female Shericka Jackson, I believe, produced a stupendous performance that lit Eugene. Do you believe that there's still more in the tank for Shericka Jackson? Because she ran, or she bounced, 21.6 in the semis with a 2.0, positive 2.0 meters per second. If she had the 2.0, would we have gotten a world record?
In hindsight, we can say that. Going in, we know that Shericka was the firm favorite. We both predicted that she would run 21.4. I also think that she can go faster if she runs a 1/200. Remember, this came after 6 rounds, 3 in the 100, and on her 6th run at the championships, she ran 21.4. And just as on a side note, some persons were in the comment section debating why I have Shericka's performance ahead of Noah Lyles' performance, and they both did exceptionally well. They are saying it's like a mirror performance. The difference for me is that Shericka did this after 3 rounds in the 100, 3 rounds in the 200, while Noah Lyles did this after running just 3 rounds in the 200. So Shericka had 300 more meters in her legs than Noah Lyles. That is why I have Shericka higher than Lyles. But very good run from Shericka. I think she can go faster. Maybe she can go at 21.40 if she get a 1/200 and conditions are good.
What say you, Coach Gober? I
Uh,
share the same sentiments.
I was not surprised about Sherika's 21-4. She ran 21.55 at our trials. And having gone to Eugene, one would have naturally expected her to go faster. Persons were contemplating world record, but for me, I was always saying that it's going to be 21-4. So at least our national record would have, you know, been broken. The surprise for me in that women's 200 meters is Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. I mean, for her at 35 to 10.67 and then come back 21.8 to Ghana silver medal in not arguably the best 200 meter lineup in the history of women athletics,
Yes.
because 22.08 could not get into the final and 21.97 was the fastest loser. Never have that happened in the history of women athletics. So it is confirmed that this is the best 200 meter lineup ever. And for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce to have done what she did in the 100 meters, came back, I mean, to this kind of a quality field. I mean, I thought she blew Abby Stein a chip from the semi-final. Abby Stein went back in. It's like she didn't know what happened, because if I'm a 21-7 runner this season, 21.77 to win at the NCAA and US trials, and then when you get up and you see somebody 15 meters in front of you, that can be encouraging.
And can't catch them.
Yeah,
Right.
get them. And nobody should have caught someone.
Exactly. So, but that women's 200 meter was a cracker. And I think next year, I don't expect Shelly to come back next year to run the 200. Even if she runs the 200 on the circuit, I don't expect her to do the 200 at a championship, Just saying. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but I don't expect her. So, by virtue of us having the wild card, I think it is going to open up now an opportunity for additional ladies to come forward. So we're assuming that Sherika and Elaine will be the top two.
Will be there. Yeah.
Right. And then two other ladies will come forward. So the guard will be changed. So, very good.
Yes, and I just want to make a comment. Elaine is the fastest woman alive. Sherika Jackson is the fastest woman alive over 200 meters.
200, yeah.
That title normally goes to the 100 meter runners. So I know sometimes persons make mistake because of the extraordinary feat by Sherika, but Elaine is the fastest woman alive.
Boy, Coach Lindsay, this pain my heart,
Yes.
See, we have the fastest women alive and no 4x1 goal.
We soon get there. I have my theory of what happened. We soon get there. We soon get there.
All right.
Coach, before you come off of the 200 meter, Coach, remember, you see, when doing the predictions, I said that we were going to sweep both the 100 and the 200 meters. Shelly was the question mark to complete the sweep for me. And I just, based on Abby running so many races throughout the season and how Abby runs her race, Abby normally comes on late in the 200 meters. And I was looking at Shelly-Ann's start and I said, Shelly will destroy her on that bend and it will throw her game plan out the window and Shelly will hold on and struggle for the third. Shelly did just that, but Shelly came second. So I was really hoping that Ilian was in a better shape so we can get the 1, 2, 3 because I had Ilian down for second in the 200 meters, no doubt.
I didn't have Shelly to medal in that one. But you see, after the semi-final run, Mr. Shelly after medal. With a third or second, he had to medal. Also, I predicted that 21-4. I was saying no world record. It was gonna be tough.
Yeah.
For Sherika to get that world record, but 21-4, and I said it is between 4-0, 4-9. So good run there from Sherika. But over to the hurdles. 12.5-2, and you could not get into the finals, Coach Goburn. I know the hurdles is one of your favorite events. Talk to us about that spectacular world record in the semi-final and that extraordinary run in the final, even for Brittany Anderson, and she got her first global medal.
But if you think the women's 200 meters was a fairness, check out the sprint hurdle, because at least in the women's 200 meters, we could argue that maybe just a handful of ladies, probably about 4 or 5 ladies, did something special. Of the 24 ladies that turned up for the semi-final, 20 got either world record, national record, or personal best.
PB.
Poor Megan Tapper, the
Mm-mm.
Olympic bronze medalist, ran 12.53 last year to come third in Tokyo.
Personal
This year,
best this time.
Megan got faster, 12.52 PB, and you couldn't get 12.50 was the slowest time,
To
right?
get into the final.
To get into the final.
Yes.
When I did my research with this
Remember,
event, over
coach,
the last
also
7 or 8 World Championship, 12.50 would have given you a chance for the gold medal.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
this time around, it is only good for 8. Unbelievable.
But
But-
coach, remember too, you know, the defending champion fell, and Alasia also fell, which
Mhm.
were in the top 5 fastest women of the world this year. So that could have even made it even harder to get in.
Interestingly, Fabian, the defending champion was ahead of the silver medalist before she fell.
Yeah.
So if you look at that, it is basically telling you that maybe probably they would have run 11.9, because based on how the defending champion Nia Ali got out in her prelims,
Mhm.
she disconnected the Jamaican Brittany Anderson. Unfortunately, she fell,
And it's
didn't
her
get to
training
defend her
partner,
title.
incidentally.
Right? And Brittany eventually come through. But Toby Amosan, oh God. From I saw her run the 12.4 in the prelims, I said, trouble. Something not right. And then she shut it down. I mean, it is a special race. And I'm disappointed that the win was 2.5 in the finals.
Yes.
Because
Me too. Me too.
12.06 sound more enticing than 12.12. But the season is not done, and they don't have rounds. They don't have any more rounds.
One
So
of Diamond League.
interesting days ahead.
And I was saying it's a good thing she decided to break it in the semifinals.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because look at the illegal win in the final. That would have prevented her from actually being accredited with the world record.
True. You're right. You're right.
And
Very right.
again, we have to big up her the coaching staff. They're actually Jamaicans. Big up to the coaching staff. I
Oh.
think for Jamaicans have always been producing world beaters, but somehow a woman is behind this world record and the global title. I think she deserves a round of applause.
Yep. Lassina Golden
Lassina
Clark.
Golden Clark, the wife of Davian Clark, another Jamaican who is the coach of Javon Powell and Sean Bailey.
Out there at University of Texas El Paso.
Yes, so they are doing exceptionally well, and we just have to say congratulations to them. Yeah. Before we get into Coach Goburn, your top moment of the competition, what would be one of the spills, or a few, probably top 3 spills of the competition, right across the board? Doesn't necessarily have to be Jamaicans.
The biggest spill for me, or kill, is Answer Parchment, because that definitely killed my spirit. I
Yeah,
mean,
man, it did.
I think that was a sure
deflated.
goal.
Yeah, I was deflated. Not to take anything away from Grant Holloway, but I don't think 13 seconds would have beat
Nah.
Ansel. So the fact that Holloway ran 13 seconds without Ansel, I know Ansel would have run at least 12.95. Right? He was in that kind of shape. All right. So that was very disappointing for me. I was also disappointed in Andre de Grasse. He's a sprinter that I like, and I like when he's fit and he's able to compete. Fortunately for him, he came back and had you know, a blind moment on the men's 4x1 to win goal for his country. And trying to find another one. Maybe Nia Ali, who's
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
the spouse of Andre de Grasse. I think she would have done something special. But all in all, I think the Jamaican team did well. Most persons had some unrealistic expectations of the Jamaican team because it's in reality, a lot of persons only tune into athletics the week of the championship,
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
right? So they really don't know what is happening prior to the championship, and that is why sometimes I cringe when I hear the comments that people make about these athletes. It is not fair because if you should follow their journey and it is tough for them, you know. So even the collegiate athletes, I am sorry for them because remember they are semi-professional athletes who are studying. These people still have to be turning in assignments, they have to be doing exams, they have to, and at the same time you want them to compete with the best in the world, persons who just train and go home, you know.
Mhm.
So I mean, I guess such is life. People will always talk, irrespective of whatever you do. But I know one thing for sure though: when you win, no complaint.
Mhm.
But everybody have excuse when you don't win.
Yep. All right. Finally, before we jump into the top moment, I don't know if I want to go there, but we are here, so let us talk about it. The women's 4x100 meters.
that's that's where I want to go because this is my theory, and there are a lot of persons debating about it. I have thought about this for hours and hours and hours, and this is my theory of what happened. I don't know if you're gonna agree, disagree, but I'm sharing my take, and then when I hear from you, gentlemen, I will see if I am right or what I can learn. All right. So for me, the big talking point was Kemba running as opposed to Brianna running. For me, it's either they're the same. Kemba earned her spot by coming second at the championships, at the trials, so she deserved to be there. She also runs the flat 100. That's for me. Um, for the relay, what happened in the relay for me, what caused us to lose last year at the Olympics, Elaine did the same thing with Brianna, where she went out too early, almost messed up the change. Last year, however, there was a 10.5 Elaine. So even though the changeover was poor, she had the foot speed to make up back for it and make up the ground. This year, Elaine is not in that shape. So even though the same mistake occurred, she did not have the foot speed to actually catch up and make up back for it. So that's one. Second, this American team is way faster this year than the team that we faced at the Olympics last year. And America, they had good button changes. Our button changes were poor. Three poor. I think the best change was probably Shelly to Sharika. The other two were really, really poor, poor, poor. And even Shelly to Sharika was poor. All three changes were absolutely horrible. It's just for me the difference is just that the shape that Alien is in. Why we did not win that 4x1. That's why persons are saying we won last year, but we didn't win this year. I think that right there is the difference.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
All right, Fabian. There's a big misconception in the track and field world that once you finish in the top 3 at the trials, you earn an automatic spot. No.
Mhm.
Once you finish in the top 3, you earn an automatic spot for the individual event, providing you attain the A standard. Anthony Cox was 3rd at the national trials in the men's 400 meters. Anthony Cox did not run the finals of the men's 400 meter. Stacey Ann Williams was fourth at the national trials in the women's 400 meters. She did not run in the finals. I'm saying that to say this. As there's a thing called a relay pool. Now the onus is on the coach or the coaching staff to look at how each athlete is campaigning in the championship. So Kemba, by virtue of finishing second at the championships and attain the A standard, nobody could take her out of the 100 meters. She earned that spot. But for the 4x1 or the relays in general, it is different. Kemba came to the championship. Kemba ran 11.10 in their prelims, 11.25 in her semifinal. Obviously, it was not the same 10.88 Kemba that we saw at the trials. Right? I'm not sure what was the rationale behind her running, if they used that theory. But for me, if I had a vote, I would use Brianna Williams. Brianna did exceptionally well in the heats. She ran off the screen because we were in lane 8 at one time. We couldn't see her. She ran left the camera. Right? Did an excellent pass, arguably the best pass of the championship. Brianna Williams to Natalia White.
To Natalia, yeah.
Right? Excellent pass. Now, Brianna is also coming in with the experience from the Olympics. Remember, this is Kemba's first major senior championship. So Brianna is coming in with 2 experiences and her 3rd championship. Remember that even though she did not compete in Doha, she was there. Right? She had the doping issue. She didn't compete, but she was there. So technically, this is her 3rd major championship. In addition to that, she's also the double gold medalist from the world under-20s.
Under-20s.
So Brianna can handle the pressure, tested and proven. So not because Kemba finished ahead of Brianna, right, in the trials, I would have opted for Brianna. My final point is Kemba, who is arguably the least experienced, not arguably, she's the least experienced, was given contrasting role to play. In the prelims,
that was my problem.
She was asked to anchor.
In
the finals, she was asked to lead off.
To lead off, yes.
And you're giving, like, literally giving the most responsibility to the rookie.
After the prelims, I said, based on the prelims, Brianna is starting in the finals. Because I was thinking, why make Brianna start in the prelims and Kemba and anchor and then switch it around for the finals? But for the finals, I realized Kemba was there, but I didn't have a problem with Kemba starting.
Honestly, Fabian,
for me,
even though we lost, I am not blaming Kemba. I'm just giving my opinion because I thought Kemba did well on her leg.
She did well.
I think it's just poor baton exchange and execution. Let us know. Remember, we have the 3 fastest ladies in the world.
It's the baton passing, let us know.
So all we had to do with any order, we could just take care of the baton and we would have been fine.
Yeah.
Right? But for me, if I had a vote, I would go with Brianna to Shelly to Elaine to Sherika. This lady is running 10.6 in her sleep. Right? She running 10.6 in her sleep. Right? Give her the back stretch.
Give her the straight line to run in. That's what me and Coach Minzy was saying.
That's the problem I have, Coach Goldberg. I believe that Sherika might have some challenges with passing the button or handling the button twice. So hence they keep her on the ankle leg. Personally, she's the best curve runner, so she should have run the 3rd leg. I can't understand why Elaine was placed
on the back stretch.
If they say she has some sort of issue, once you say issue, you can't put her up on the back stretch. When back stretch is a bully leg.
Yeah, Elaine was not in the same 10.5 shape like last year, so we have to be realistic. Her best this season is 10.7, right? And she did 10.81 in the final. Why I would keep Sherika on that ankle leg is that Sherika on your ankle leg is insurance.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen from her junior age, whenever she received a baton on the ankle leg, she transformed to a beast.
Mm-hmm.
You saw what happened. The Americans had a 7-8 meter lead on us, and we lost it on the line, right? So Sherika, in my opinion, is that person that you have the extra insurance just in case
What if?
what if things don't go
Mhm.
according to plan, she can cover some grounds. And unfortunately, this time around, the deficit was too much, right? But I think she did extremely well on her leg. And I don't think there's anybody else on that team that would have done that based on how Sherika have been running 4x1s from junior.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Right.
I have a question though for you, Coach Goburn.
Yes, sir.
And it is based on um what I was seeing in the comment section about the whole Kemba Brianna debate. Myself and Coach Minzy had said before that for us it doesn't really matter who they choose to run with should win the gold. My question to you is, seeing what happened, the race playing out the same way, would it have made a difference with Brianna on that first leg? Because I don't think it was Kemba's leg that cost us the
It
gold.
wasn't Kemba's leg. It
Changeover.
wasn't Kemba's leg. It was a changeover.
Right.
We
So
lost
I
it
think
from
with Brianna, we would still be silver because of the horrible changeovers.
the first changeover last year at the Olympics, was off, because
Yes.
the outgoing runner left early.
Yes.
I think what saved us last year was two things. The backstretch runner was in
10-5
bad
form.
shape,
Yes.
and the Americans weren't as strong as they are this year.
Was a slower team. Yeah.
Right. But I thought that kind of covered it. But the change wasn't perfect.
Mhm.
The change was not perfect. If you look at this World Championship, Abby Steiner significantly closed the gap on us. Persons are saying that Prandini destroyed Shelley. And sometimes these things let me cringe,
Mhm.
Prandini is in lane 3.
Lane 3. I said the same thing.
Shelley is out there in lane 6.
Lane
Six.
5. Lane 5. Lane
5.
5.
So
Yes.
there's 2 lanes. Based on the stagger coming
The
from
ascendance would have been with lane 3.
Yes.
obvious lane 3. So
Mhm.
because Prandini got then the change between Ilian and Shelley wasn't special either.
It was
Right,
horrible.
right. Slow.
Right? So people saying that Prandini destroyed Shelley, based on the stagger, the Americans were in the lead before the baton was even changed.
Yes.
And the fact that they had an inside lane, 2 lanes inside, that would have even worked more in their favor. Right? So I don't listen to some of these people talk because, as I said, they only watch track and field when there's championship time.
All right. Top 5. I don't want to put it 5, or if you want to go 5, top 5 moment thrills of the championship. Fabian gave his earlier before you came on, so you can just go ahead and give yours.
That is generally or in relation to Jamaica?
Generally, not Jamaican. Generally, yes.
All right. My number one moment for the championship would have been Sydney McCracken. Unbelievable. And followed by Toby Amason, then Sherika Jackson, and then we would have Noah Lyles, and then Mundo Duplantis. Those would be my top 5.
Fabian, cheer yours, a coach can hear you.
Oh, he had said that earlier?
No, but not in the order.
I had the same top 5.
I corrected him and said I would put
Sydney
Sydney
at
at
1.
top, you know.
I don't have Sydney at 1.
All right, let me justify.
I
Hold on, Fabian. Let me explain what 50.6 means in the 400-meter hurdles. She would have finished 5th in the flat 400 meters.
Yeah, we spoke about that too. That she would have.
No. If you think about that, and she ran 50.6 unbothered.
Mm-hmm.
There was no pressure. There was no one.
No
close
competition.
To her. Toby Amason was special, very special, right? But in relation to the 400 meters, 50.6 to me is more special than 12.1. Noah Lyles, why I would put Noah Lyles at 4 is that his 19.31 still ranks him at 3. He's the
Yes.
best American. But there are still 2 men that have gone faster than him. In fact, there are still 3 times that have gone faster than him. Usain Bolt 19.30, Johan Blake 19.26, Usain Bolt,
Blake.
sorry,
1919.
19.19. You know, so that's my order. I mean, it is not cast in stone. The persons can agree, persons can disagree. But for me, Sidney McLaughlin, Toby Abusan, Sherika Jackson, Noah Lyles, Munda Duplantis. And maybe I can get up tomorrow and put Munda Duplantis in front of Noah Lyles too. Because as I said before, that 6.21 is no joke.
Share yours down, Fabian. So cool.
I am laughing because I have the same exact 5. It's just that I have them in a different order.
Let me hear.
All right, so I am gonna start. I have Duplantis at 5.
Mm-hmm.
I have Noah Lyles at 4. I have
Sydney
at 3.
Sherika
And you're going
at
to
2.
hear me out. Why I have Sydney at 3. I have Sherika at 2, and I have Toby at 1. Now
I challenge him, Coach Goldberg,
and
because
Coach Minzy challenge
to have Sydney at 3rd,
it is a very good challenge. You know, it's a very good challenge. We almost change Sydney and push Sydney up the line, you know, but arguably I think those top 3 could be number 1.
True.
But for me, the reason why I have
I'm
Sydney,
sure if you had a vote, many persons would put up Toby at number 1.
yes. For me with Sydney, and while we were doing the watch along, we did say that if Sydney was placed in the flat 400 and you put hurdles in her lane alone, she would still finish 5th in the flat 400 final. So we know that the time
she would beat Candice McLeod for sure.
she would know that the time was out of this world. But for me, I expected her to break her record again. I did not expect her to break 51 seconds, but I expected her to break the record again. So she wowed me with the 50.6, but then it wasn't as much as how Toby. Remember, you know, before the championships, none of the females were running even 12.3 low, you know.
True.
They were running 12.38, 12.39, 12.3 high. So for me to do that in the semifinals and then go back and replicate that in the finals,
it is special. It is special.
That is for me why it is at number 1. And I have to put Sherika at 2 because Sherika did that after 6 rounds. 3 in the 100, and then on her 6th run, she run that 200 meters and run 21.45.
Fair enough. But just remember that Sidney McLaughlin ran 50.6, Bridget.
She is not okay.
In the
she
history
is not
of the women's
human.
sprinter, you know.
She is. Sydney can't do anything right now. I'm surprised.
Toby still ran 12 seconds, you know, in the sprinter.
Yes,
you know.
Yes, I agree. But for me, Sydney cannot do anything that surprises me right now.
No, you know why I challenge him, Coach. Because
and Coach Newman loves Sydney.
Even though persons probably would have thought that Sydney would have run a world record, it was mind-boggling for her to dip below 51.
Bridging from 51.41 to 50.6.
Yes.
Unbothered.
That's terrible.
You know what is scary? Femke Ball, who was second in 52.25, 27.
Almost 2 seconds.
That is a world-class time. And she wasn't even in the frame.
She wasn't even in the race.
When Cindy went across the line, Femke Ball was not even in the frame. Right? So for me to run 52.2, a woman run 52.2 for, and you're not, it is going to be difficult for you to come back to training next year. You know? Even though Toby ran 06, right? If you watch the race, everybody was basically in touching distance, you know.
They were
She
already
didn't,
PBs.
right? She didn't blow them away. The time is special, but she didn't blow them away. You understand? But as I said, it can go either way. Two awesome
I will
performances.
accept Sydney at one. I will accept Sydney at one also. I will
No,
accept
man, don't make nobody bully you, man.
because
If
she
you say
never.
no,
No. I'm not moving to Obi. No, I am
Yeah.
accepting your point that Sydney.
Oh, but you're not
can
moving.
go, but
Okay.
I'm not moving to Obi. But I am saying you have a very, 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 very credible argument that Sydney should be in that top spot because she did, somebody in the comment section said she never break the record. She annihilate the record.
Trust me.
Trust me. When Coach Minzy says he's expecting her to run sub 51, me thinks a Coach Minzy mad.
If I should have a top 10 performance, because top 5 tight, you know.
Well tight. But we have the
If I-
same top 5, just different order.
Yeah, because when you talk about Alison Dos Santos, the number 2.
He
Hurdles,
narrowly missed out on the top 5 for me.
When you talk about the triple jumper,
Pichardo.
the female on the female side too.
Yeah, Rojas.
Rojas, yes.
The men shot put. It's crazy. I mean, some awesome performances took place in this World Championship, you know. But all in all, I think it was girls' champs. I mean, nine, and you see, I am not afraid to speak. You know, you see, every year when it comes to boys and girls' champs, in the media, it's all about the boys. And then by the time it gets to summer when the championship, nobody not talking about the boys. Everybody talking about the girls. So I think Jamaica, and we have some men in Jamaica who attend traditional boys' school, they need to start giving some more credit to the females. Because since Usain Bolt retired, so did Jamaica Sprints. Right? Fortunately for us, some nice youngsters are coming forward. All right. I was impressed with Jelani Walker. I mean, Akeem Blake. I've been saying it from the Olympics last year that Oblique Seville, by the time we get to Paris 2024, he's going to be the man. I've been saying that. I called that too. I called that from last year. I said, give him another 4 years, he's going to be the man. Right? So at the end of the day, I mean, I think it was a very good championship, arguably one of the best. I think the organizers did a good job. I mean, from a Jamaican standpoint, I think most things went according to plan. I think we need to start reviewing how we approach the mixed relay, because we need to stop treating it like a novelty.
Exactly. You know? It's a world title.
It's a world title. You get the same amount of money, the same, you know. The Femke Ball and the Dominican Republic ladies showed us. The young man from Dominica also, I don't remember his name, he got a PB and got to the 200-meter finals.
Yes, you know? Orlando or something. I can't remember.
Right. So, yeah. I mean, the coaches need to start looking into the schedule from early and start planning and preparing. All right. Persons were saying also that it was unfair to the ladies after the 100-meter finals to come and run the 200-meter the next day. The schedule was out from last year. So you would have known exactly what you are getting yourself into. So you'd have prepared your athlete. In the ideal world, we would at least need one rest day. But there is never going to be a schedule that is going to please everybody. At least one event or one discipline is going to have an issue with the schedule. Unfortunately, this time is a women 200, and they still came out and assembling the best field ever in history.
There's a question on screen for you, Coach Gogan.
Where would I rank Shelley in terms of what? Globally?
Probably can add that to it, answer.
of all time. Shelly-Ann
Mhm.
Fraser-Pryce, in my opinion, is the greatest female sprinter of all time and arguably the greatest ever with a compare genders.
Do I need
That
to
is
add
my
to that,
opinion.
coach?
Yeah, go ahead.
She's the greatest sprinter, full stop, of
Mm-hmm.
all time.
Mm-hmm.
Male,
Shelly-Ann Fraser.
female, non-binary, whatever. She's the greatest sprinter, full stop.
Shelly-Ann Fraser has faced the starter 9 times at Global Championship, Olympics, World Championship, 9 times. And of that 10 times, sorry, and she won 9 medals. The only time Shelly did not medal was 2011 in Daegu when she finished 4th. The only championship that she missed in her 15-year career was 2017 when she went to have her baby. So you're talking about consistency, you're talking about quality. There many persons came. If you look at the persons who Shelly were competing with, from the Jetta, come right down to Tory Bowie, English Gardner, many came and many fall. Right? So Shelly-Ann Fraser, in my opinion, the greatest female sprinter of all time.
All right.
I may just go one step further and say greatest sprinter ever, male or female.
We're not going to debate that tonight.
Not tonight, but I want
that
to
debatable,
debate
still,
it
you know.
one day.
Yeah.
It's debatable. What
It is debatable.
are your thoughts about Faith Kipyegon's performance as well? I think she did exceptionally well at this championship.
She would definitely be one of the top ranked persons. She's also one of the many persons, female athletes, to have gone to have a child and have returned to the sport, like Shelly-Ann Fraser and Alyssa Felix. I mean, she did well, exceptionally well in the women's 1500 meters. For me, I think Faith Kipyegon is one of those special athletes, and she continues to prove people wrong. Even if she comes in as not one of the favorites, she always finds a way to get the job done. So well done to her.
Yes. And one thing I noticed to coach and Fabian, who is also a coach, that the dominance that the Africans would have had in the long and middle distance events, it wasn't so much. You could see the playing field moving up on them, not conquering them, but quite a number of non-Africans have won medals at this championship.
Yep. The men's 1500, no African men was on the podium.
Yeah.
We have Whiteman and Ingebrigtsen, and I don't remember the bronze medalists, but I mean that is speaking volume. And so somebody have a question.
Yes.
I have a question for coach, for the invited coach. What's his take on having relay camp and mandatory baton practice for championships? All right. There's a big misconception out there also that a lot of people don't know. You see, these athletes that are competing, this is their job. This is their bread and butter. They have contracts and they have incentives and obligations. No athlete don't get a contract because of a relay. Athletes get contract and book lanes. You cannot go to a meet organizer on the circuit and said, okay, I was the person who lead off the 4x1 last year. Nobody don't know you. You don't have any pulling power. So the relay camps are very important. Not that don't get me wrong, they are very important. But athletes tend to try to get their individual events out of the way before they can concentrate on the relays. I mean, I think there's something we can implement, either we can go to the camp earlier or something. But at the end of the day, these are professional athletes, they are adults. It's not like juniors where you can say, okay, everybody will have a camp this weekend and they come in. We can get invited to the camp and they don't turn up. So for the seniors, it is all about their individual event, and they're not going to compromise that because that is their bread and butter. The relays is just like a bonus, icing on the cake, but they really earn from their individual events, and their contracts are renewable based on their performance in their individual events. Hope that answers the question.
Yeah, man. What else we needed to touch? Yes, in terms of the relays, I think the Americans wanted to sweep the relays,
Yes.
and they themselves they had camps. They had a lot of practice time from the information I gathered, and it is as a result that they wanted to sweep the relays. I mean, when you look at Alice Felix going home, and she got a phone call that she should return for the prelims. It goes to show that they wanted it, and they dug deep. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for them. But
Men
really,
again.
it comes like Coach
They,
Bowen
they,
said, it's difficult when it comes to senior athletes, especially when athletes are from various
they
camps.
should be happy that we don't have the resources that they have. They would have
Mhm.
something. Yeah, if we had the resources that they had, trust me, problem.
Several sweeps in the championship.
Men
What's
shot
happening?
put, men shot put, women 100, men 200,
Men 102.
men 100, right? So that's 4 sweeps. The Broomy championship.
The Rasta men, them kind of turn out, they make a money. But you know, we Jamaicans really have to really set the trend in because we are the first and only country to sweep the 100 at the World Championship on the women's side, and it's a great achievement. We did it last year at the
But
Olympics.
remember, we swept it at the Olympics also in 08.
Yes, yes.
Even though it was not 1, 2, 3, it was 1, 2,
1, 2,
1, 2, 2, yeah.
but we were still the only nation on the podium.
Yeah, so we kind of set the trend, and a lot of persons start to
I
borrow
remember,
our brooms that I normally
we
say.
swept the men's 200 in London as well.
Yes. So we really started this thing a long time, and them start borrow broom. the US ladies did it in was it the 100-meter hurdles? Which championship was that again?
At the Olympics 2016.
2016, right? So it's like
Brianna Rollins and company.
right, them just borrow a broom, and from that the broom just start sheer all over the place. Even they plan to get the sweep in the hurdles again, but as you know, persons fell on broom break and all of them something there. So I mean, it was good to see though. It was good. The shot put was extraordinary.
Just while you mentioned the hurdles, Coach Minzy, I just want to reiterate that as it relates to the sprint hurdles for women, the national record was broken this year. But I think that national record is going to be on life support real quick. Because when you look at the persons who are waiting in the wings, remember now, Akira Nugent did not turn up at the trials. She got hurt. It is rumored now that she's going to switch camp. She's going to leave Baylor.
She has actually switched.
She switched.
Yeah.
So where she, University of Texas.
Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is what I was told initially. We have Denisha Roswell, who did extremely well. We have up and coming hurdles like Crystal Morrison, and so I mean, I don't think Brittany Anderson can really sit comfortable at the top. I mean, there's a slew of sprint hurdlers. There's a junior athlete by the name of Kerika Hill.
Yes, man.
I think that young lady is going to be very dangerous in a couple of years. All right. I mean, she's one of the fastest sprint hurdlers. Not one of, she's the fastest
11.1
sprint hurdler to ever compete at champs. She's very sound technically, and I think she has a lot of scope for development. So, look out, world. Jamaica is coming in the women's sprint hurdle.
Coach, just to add to that, I think Brittany will break it again before the season ends.
I wouldn't doubt that.
The nature that she ran it in the semifinals, she just cleared hurdle 10 and just went through the line.
She shut it down. Right. I agree with you.
Yeah.
There's more fireworks to come, man. Trust me. And then the meet organizers they're going to try to beef up these meets, Try to probably get back at Nia Ali and Kendra Harrison and Amazon and Camacho Quinn. Trust me, look out for it. They're going to do that. Some big money going to spend.
I believe so, because they want to get back everybody together so that it could be also be a crowd puller, money making thing, like I said. It will definitely work, because Nia and even the Alasia Johnson girl, they were missing from this lineup, But who would you take out?
I would take out Kendra Harrison.
Really?
Yeah, man. She threw up too much, man.
So, but coach, the last time Kendra choked, what happened after she choked?
Yeah, but this time the girl broke the world record and slapped her in her face during the race.
The last time she choked, she could break the world record,
Yeah, but I mean, to me, Kendra, hot and cold. I'm just a little disappointed that Megan did not get in, because she would have probably done something special too. Also, to take note of Devin Charlton from the Bahamas.
Yes.
He won silver this year at the World Indoors, multiple Carifta champion. I think she and Megan has been battling from Carifta days, along with Crystal McCarthy, who is retired now. So Devin Charlton, to me, came on very good this season. She got a national record, I think 12.42, and she's going to be, a handful also in seasons to come. She's I think she's about 27, 28, so she's not very young, but, she's basically just coming on the scene in terms of, being accepted as a world-class global first-class sprint hurdler.
Question on the screen there. This is Everything Tracker, a United States vlogger. He does track and field. Always seem to be over here trying to find out what's happening with the Jamaicans. He has a question there for you.
What's the question? Does he see the Jamaican men actually putting their foot down and actually win something? Listen, this thing is, what do you call it? Cyclic, whatever.
Yeah. Cycle, yes.
The American men sat and waited for 12 years until it was their turn. All right? During the Usain Bolt dominance. Right? They could not win a 4x1 even when we were not at our best. As long as Usain Bolt is on the team, we won. All right? So I believe that the Americans are very dominant. Now, in fact, they have always been dominant. But I think that the Jamaican men now, we are rebuilding. So the wheel is turning. So eventually, in another couple of years, we'll get right back there. It's only a matter of time. So we will take our beating now, and definitely we'll get back there. I don't have any doubt. We have some very good juniors. We have the likes of, the newbies and the Brian Level and the young guy from Casey. All right. What's the guy named from Casey? The fast starter, the short one?
Boaji, yeah.
Right. So we have
Sanjay Davidson.
You have the young man Daly from Herbert Morris.
Yes.
There's a whole lot of them coming up. So we just have to be patient, give them time to develop, and hope that they make the right decisions in terms of their post high school years.
Yes.
Right. And we'll be there. We'll be there. If you look at Conroy Jones,
Yep.
He's literally just stepping out of high school, 10.00 twice at the trials, and I expect him to get faster.
I think Daddy Gates, I think Dina is okay, but they kind of said that it's sketchy for her now to go to the Commonwealth Games.
I'd be surprised if she turn up.
Yeah, they say she's racing against time, so I don't know what will be the outcome.
It don't work.
There's another question on screen for you, sir, Coach Goldberg.
Whoa.
Unknown.
If Elaine wasn't injured, do you think she would have run sub 10-7 or even threatened the world record this year, though being coached by her husband? First and foremost, we need to confirm what is her injury. I know that she complained about having some injuries.
Sure.
I know it one time they mentioned something about a rotator cuff or whatever.
Mhm.
But definitely, any day a fit Elaine is going to be dangerous. This is the fastest woman alive, and we saw it on a number of occasions. As long as Elaine Thompson is fit, she's going to be dangerous. But I think she would have to do some serious reflecting at the end of this season. She has some decisions to make. Not necessarily decisions, but she'd have to take probably different approach. Because obviously, if you continue to do things the same way, you're going to get the same results. So, I mean, I respect Elaine's coach. He's a brave man, and most persons never really get it right on their first occasion, on their first attempt. So, let's hope he's man enough to accept his mistakes and to probably consult other persons and, try to get it right. But Elaine, to me, as long as she's fit, remember, Elaine ran 10.79 earlier. That is telling you, obviously, she was doing something right? I don't know what happened after that, but the leading up to the trials, she looked okay. I was questioning her 200 all season, but definitely for the 100, I thought she was on par. She ran 10.89 at the Jamaican trials in the semi-final, easy like Sunday morning. She accredited her third place finish to the long delay, which I totally understand. I mean, at the trials, but I mean, Elaine at her best is going to be dangerous. But Elaine traditionally has never done well at the World
At
Championship.
the World Champs.
Right.
So this is one of her best showing to date at the World Championship.
It's actually her first individual medal.
Best is relative,
In terms of
Best
her
is
100 meters.
Right.
But it's their first individual medal at World Champs.
Right. So best is relative to your perspective. Most persons would say this is her best performance because she won her first medal in the 100 meters. And most persons will be saying that this is her worst performance because she coming off 10.53 and 21.5. So,
but her coach did say it's the gold medal, bronze medal.
coming off 10.53.
It's a golden bronze. So I mean, they probably would have set an objective, and that objective would have been to
definitely
get on the podium in the 100 meters, which she has not done. I think this is her third try.
I think people are giving Elaine a warm time unnecessarily. I mean, it's not like she came and she didn't make the finals, or I don't know. I think
what is scary,
I think it's because it's on the heels of that
of Olympics of the 10.5.
Yeah, but remember, in 2016 she won the sprint double in Rio. In 2017, she came and she finished fifth in the 100 meters. Nobody didn't say she must change her coach.
Good point.
You understand?
Good point.
Nobody said she's supposed to change her coach. In fact, we had to wait 5 years for her to win another medal.
And persons were saying, something, they were saying that she had a mental issue. She's like a soft and all of these things.
I don't have the data or the information to debate that. All right. For me, I don't like to argue based on emotions, and a lot of persons argue based on how they feel. Elaine Thompson came away from the Olympics in 2016 with 3 medals. She won 2 gold medals and a silver medal. All right. In 2015, she went to the World Championship. She won a gold medal on the 4x1 and a silver medal. No, coming off
in the
200. So coming off such a high season in 2016 And based on how she performed in 2016, why didn't person say she need to change her coach? You know, I mean,
Yeah, I didn't hear that talk.
I,
Sorry.
I think Coach Goburn, what they're looking at her season last year and this year, looking at where she seemed to be last year and where she seemed to be this year, not realizing or not understanding that both seasons are different. And it was because of her injuries in the earlier part of the season why I had doubts about her winning this year. But she is, for me, she's still the closest to the world record right now.
But baby, and she had challenges last season,
Is
early
or
in
was?
the season. She had
Izar was the closest to the world record.
She is still the closest to the world record. I believe if she has an injury-free season,
No,
I
you're
think
talking
she's
about
gonna break it.
Fabian. You're talking about last year, man. Shelly is the closest to the world record now, 10-6-7.
On form, yes, on form. But I'm
You see,
looking at
you see,
potential.
in track and field, you know, what did the last year don't count, you know. That hang up in a closet, you know, hang up on shelf. That they can't do anything about that.
Yep.
You understand? You have to do it again. What have you done lately? You are
As
measured
best.
by your last performance.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Hey,
fact that you ran 10-5-3 last year is
it don't
special.
mean anything at all
It don't mean nothing
this year.
It's
No.
special though in history, you know.
But when I say that, you know, coach, them say me love Shelly.
Listen, when Shelly left MVP, persons were tearing down Shelly as well. It's when Shelly start drop 10-6 and sub 22, everybody shut up. And nobody does,
Okay.
people just stop talk. You understand? So, I mean, success is relative to your perception. All right? Elaine and then persons don't understand what. Maybe there's something that she can't cope with. Yes, the coach is a very good coach, but we don't know. We nobody sat down with Elaine and tried to find out. I mean, exactly. Tell me exactly what is the problem. Obviously, she wanted to keep it private. But for me, this is their first attempt. Obviously, they didn't get it right. So they just have to regroup and come again and try to do things differently.
And coaching that time, so when you're doing your experiments, you normally don't get it right the first time, and you have to constantly be doing your research and all of these things to get that experiment to where you want it. So, like Coach Goburn say, they might got it wrong on the first attempt, but I mean, like Frano said, he's never right. What he did last season don't count for him either. So he's gonna go back to the laboratory and try, like the mad scientist Einstein, and just try put something together again. So you want to see where she goes next season. But I mean, remember when she had her very good season last year, she had early season injuries as well. The Achilles was really bothering her last season. And she said this season she's pain-free. So whatever they did, if they continue to do that to keep her pain-free even for next season, and she can put in some good training, barring any other injury, then we might see the Elaine that we want to see.
But Coach Binzi, look at it. She's not at her best this year. And when she's not at her best, there are only 2 women in the world who can beat her in the 100 meters. That in itself says something.
Of course. Says
and
a lot.
The 2 women are Jamaicans.
Yep. I would agree now. A fit Elaine will blow away the feeling.
A fit Elaine is unbeatable. A fit Elaine is unbeatable.
Boy, we have some interesting days ahead, you see?
And one more question for you, Coach Goburn. How often does an athlete switch coaches and get success immediately?
I don't have that data. I know that Omar McLeod did it. in 2016 he won at the Olympics. He switched coaches and then won 2017 at the World Championships, and he has been switching on. Somehow he's not getting it right again. But that I don't have the first-hand data, but I would have to check to let you know. And success mean winning global titles, right?
Winning global title, yes.
Right. That I would have to do that research. I don't have that data, and right. Apart from Omar McLeod, who did it in recent times, you know. So if you even look at Wade Van Niekerk, who switched, he's now at the Pure Athletic setup in Claremont with Coach Brahman. Yeah. Even though this is the best we have seen in him in maybe 4 or 5 years, he's still not at his best. I mean, it just coming like, a new car. If you get a new car, it is going to take you a little while by driving that car to really, be comfortable with maneuvering the controls and stuff like that. So I guess if you look at it from that perspective, you'll be comfortable with the car that you had before. And you know that car better. And after time, you eventually going to understand this car.
Yes.
Definitely. Somebody's asking about the Commonwealth Games, the team. I have not gotten any new info. I know that Hudson is not in. I'm not certain what is going to happen with Tajay Gale, but we just wait and see if there's any update on it. Because I know probably those two persons you're probably seeking information about. All right. We have about 4 minutes to go. Coach Goburn, any other thing that you want to add? Just out the box.
I said this already, and I'm going to say it again. I think as a country, we should stop treating the mixed relay as a novelty. It adds to our medal tally, and we should start taking it very seriously. I mean, if we look at the schedule and if there are rest days in between, then we can definitely utilize people, even one run, because I think if we had used, because most of our athletes did not run after our trials. So a 1-400 wouldn't hurt them. So let's say for argument's sake, if we use a Stephanie and McPherson and a Candice McLeod on the mixed relay, even though I think we still wouldn't have won a medal because we were weak on the men's side. So we definitely would have need some sub 45 and sub 43 splits. But going forward, I think we should start taking it serious. And I am very pleased by seeing Jamaicans everywhere in these championships. We were in the horizontal jumps, we were in the vertical jumps, we were in the middle distance. We were in the throws, we were in the sprints, we were everywhere. And I think taking away from this championship, persons will now start taking us serious as a track and field nation, and not just a track nation or a sprint nation.
All right. Fabian, any final words before we close off the show? What has been a very, very interesting discussion?
I'm just learning a lot while talking about track and field. Every time we have a discussion, I learn, and that is the most important thing. The championships for me we had some mishaps, but I think it was a good championships. I just want the fans out there to just temper their expectations a bit and be mindful that the athletes are humans and we don't know what they are going through on a day-to-day basis, the sacrifices that they are making. So don't bash the athletes. We all have our favorites, but still we must respect them and
support them.
Athletes don't select themselves to run. Coaches are the ones who make the decisions. These are coaches who have trained multiple world champions before and all of that. So let us just support the athletes and don't bash them. Remember, they are humans and they have family too. All right. And they have feelings. So let us just support them. And I am going on the limb and I'm saying next year, Seville will medal next year at World Championships. And by 2024, he will be on top of the podium.
Well, he's a brave man. Coach Minzy, can I add one more point?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
I think, as a nation, we need to start paying attention to our non-traditional events. We saw Natalia Gould get into the 800-meter finals, which have been consistent for the last couple of years. But we need to start getting persons on the podium. Mr. Navaski Anderson, I mean, breaking the national record and going to the World Championship, didn't advance on the prelim. But I think we should start to partner. Jamaica is a brand. Jamaica is a world favorite, is a crowd favorite. And I have had the privilege to travel with a couple teams, junior teams, to go to these global meets. And then when you go to these meets, you realize how people view Jamaicans. And they think that we are gods, especially in the sprints. So I think we should try to partner with the countries who are doing well in the Middle East and try to partner with them. The countries who are doing well in the field events, try to partner with them and try to, to bring that to our table. Let me share a quick experience with you. In 2014, I was privileged to be a part of the World Under-20 team that went to the same Hayward Field, Eugene, Oregon. So we got there like about 3 or 4 days before the start of the championship. Unfortunately, our gear did not reach on time. I think it was like a day late. So we went down to the warm-up track, and most of the athletes did not have any shoes. So we, as a coaching and management staff, met and said, okay, we're just going to allow them to just jog and stretch on the grass in their socks, and then we will wait until the shoes arrive the next day. So we went down by the warm-up track, and all the Jamaicans jog and stretch and we do everything, and then some of them did some stride in their socks on the grass. The next day, we went down to the track. The Chinese, the Americans, the Russians, the Germans, everybody was down there jogging in their socks. Not knowing that we were in awe. We couldn't believe. They said that the Jamaicans jog in their socks. So they don't know what that means. Little did they know that we didn't have any shoes. You understand? So when I saw that, I said, man, look at this. So they think that we are doing this for a scientific reason. And even the great China, you saw the Chinese athletes, you saw the Russians, the Americans, the Germans, not every, but 90% of the athletes were down there warming up in their socks. That says a lot.
Yeah, man. And what a way to end this stream. Very, very, very insightful. There's one question. 1975, Jamrock, respect for that super chat. Is Sachin injured or not training for Jamaica? I think he is a Jamaican. Injured, I believe so.
Yeah, I think he was actually down to compete at the national trials. In fact, he was actually getting ready to represent Jamaica at the Caribbean Games in Guadeloupe. So he was preparing for that and he got hurt. He did not prepare, turn up for the national trial. So at this point, he's definitely
Jamaica. Jamaica.
Yeah, man. And I think that notion was dispelled some time ago, So I don't know why this question still keep coming up. But yes, he's a Jamaican.
Remember Julian Fort, he's not done.
Yes.
I'm
so it's gonna be, like I said earlier, Coach, it's going to be interesting come next year because you don't know what will transpire. Listen, all the athletes will start back at zero. They have to go back to them background, they have to go back to them specific, every single thing, them different phases of training, competition, right back to zero. So don't get it twisted, people. All right, so thanks again to Coach Goldberg, my colleague, and Fabian. Big up yourself. Thanks very much, people, for tuning in. All the comments. I'm sorry we weren't able to read out all the comments, but the discussion was very, very, very robust and engaging. And definitely, I'm certain that you would have learned something from this conversation. Fabian did say he learned something as well, and definitely big up to Coach Goulburn. We have some work to do coming this season.
Oh, man.
So big up to Fabian again. Big up to all the persons in the comment section, the erudites, every single person who turned out. Thanks for the super chat from 1975 Jamrock. People, just stay safe. Until next time. Peace out.